The immortal John Hancock here, and I'm here finally to do the video with Corey Stride of Classics and Oddities.
Thank you.
Corey, how long have we known each other?
Let's see, 2006?
Long time, right?
Yeah.
Where did we meet again?
Goodwill off 14th Avenue in Longview. I came up to you, heard about you, and I'm like, yeah, I know everything about video games, and that was a big mistake.
We've known each other a long time. Corey is a former Portland Retro Gaming Expo organizer. We're alumni together.
Yes, exactly.
And he also has helped me organize Callous Gamers for Kids several years. Mm-hmm. He continues to be a sponsor. And I thought it'd be interesting to have Corey on with his expertise as being a store owner for almost a decade. And I took some questions from my Twitter and pretty much questions to ask the game store owner about.
Yeah.
So here we go. I got these from my Twitter. And again, we'll jump right in.
Yep.
So, all right. So one of the questions was, if you were to start a video game business now, what advice would you have?
Research your surroundings. Research. Don't drop water on the product there. Research where you are. How's the competition? If your community can support it. I know a few game stores up north, away from here and whatnot. They opened a game store, thought it was going to do good and whatnot, and the local market didn't support it at all.
It was a tiny store. I mean, it was a tiny town. I mean, it was a great game store. It was magic, video games, great product. But I mean, less than 5,000 people in it?
Yeah.
And you just can't. That type of town can rarely support a video game.
Yeah. I mean, they did other stuff too, but it still wasn't supporting it.
Yeah.
Find out what the demand is. Find out if it's more towards newer consoles, older consoles, PC stuff. I carry pretty much a lot of things right now, so, but like my PC section is a small section. I still carry it for a few customers, but that's not my demand. It's more like retro. I hate the word retro and stuff, but the last 20 years of gaming
Pop
and
culture.
stuff, pop culture and whatnot, old movies, VHS, stuff like that and stuff. Just find out what your local collecting market is like and stuff.
Well, and you've done well with going with trends and staying alive because of that. You know, you don't rely just on games. You know, you've were able to survive doing other things too. Which goes into the second question. How hard is keeping customers happy versus following trends?
I prefer keeping customers happy. If I follow trends, I'd probably not be in business as long as I have. There's a lot of trends of retro is everything and stuff, but people still want to play PS2, Xbox 360. If I follow the trends of the retro gaming community and whatnot, I don't think I'd do as well, honestly, with that. It's hard to follow trends on stuff like that because, I mean, good example, for format wars and stuff, you had HD DVD, Blu-ray, DVD still out and whatnot. I still sell more DVDs and VHS than I do Blu-ray and 4K. I don't even take 4K stuff in because I know my market's not there. I'd rather sell VHS and DVDs.
So one thing I want to add to that, too, is I've worked with a lot of game stores, and I know that we have more than a relationship with customer, store owner. But I can't tell you how many times that you've called me, I've given you a game list. I give my game list to a lot of people in video game stores, but rare is a time does someone see what I have on my list, especially as a store owner, and call me back saying, "Oh, I actually have that."
Yeah. And
one thing as a customer it's important to do is if a store owner goes out of her way to get a game for you, you probably should buy it from them, because that's not going to motivate. If you don't buy it from them and the price is good, it's not going to motivate them to work with you anymore.
Yeah, I've had a few people over the years when I'm like, here's my list. I'm like, sweet, I'll see what I can do and whatnot. And I'll fill out 10, 20 games. I'm like, okay, so here's $100 worth of games. Oh, well, it'd be a couple months before I can get those. I'm like, but you said anytime, any price, I make you a fair deal. And then I'm left with games that I'm like, okay, now I gotta figure out how to sell these because I thought I was buying them for you, and I stopped. I pretty much have stopped doing it with, except for like probably 10 people. If you're number one, but apparently even today, I'm like, oh yeah, I promised someone else, but yeah, we can work something out. So
yeah, that happens. So, other thing, what are the biggest misconceptions of a store owner?
I'm rich. I do this for only the money. I say I, but I do have employees, and I do have a wife that supports me and stuff on this, and for me doing this almost 10 years. But we're here to pay the bills. We're here to take care of, the employees that we take care of. We either take care of bills, take care of rent. We do this to make money and whatnot, but we're not doing it to, screw anyone over and whatnot. There's a fine line between what we have to sell it for, what it sells for, and all that, but I'm not here to like, oh, this game's worth $100, I must charge you $200 for it because it's rare. No, I'm here to sell it to you at an affordable price, but also to pay my bills and all that and whatnot.
Yeah, and what time off, right? Time off?
So time off, let's see, I was working up from the wedding that Shanae and I had and stuff. I worked till like that Tuesday, and I'm like, I'm sorry, I got wedding stuff to do. Got married on that Saturday. We went to Vegas, and we still had to line up employees to stay open, so we could stay open for the 4 days afterwards and whatnot. That's always fun and stuff. So the wedding, vacations, we really don't take and stuff. We do plan ahead. We try, for family and whatnot. We did Puerto Rico this year and stuff because of family. But it was still like, okay, who's going to watch the store? Who's going to get hours? We were still at I'm in Florida on Miami Beach answering questions on my phone and whatnot because people are messaging me. I'm like, I have to answer these, So timing off is not really there and stuff. So
yeah. Worst trade experiences?
Ooh.
Or maybe worst trade experience?
Worst trades and whatnot. So when I call Hancock about, hey, so I have to call a guy to find out a game. And this is one that happened last year. Remember the Flintstones at Dinosaur Peak? Guy brings in a legit copy. Now, he was coming in to answer some questions anyways. We tear it apart, we make sure it's legit, and he's like, well, I want $450. I'm like, I can't do that. I'm sorry. I wish I can. I can't do full eBay. I can't do full retail. I can't do that. Some places can, but that's not. Yeah. I'm still a small town and stuff. I'm like, well, we take it to the Portland Retro Gaming Expo last year.
And you're honest with him.
Yeah, and he's like, do it for me. I'm like, I'm not going to do the work for you. I can't. I'm sorry. So that was like a bad experience.
Well, yeah, and if you're gonna do it for somebody, you should get a cut of selling it. It's like. People don't understand. It's like the reason why they're not selling it on eBay because it takes reputation, it takes time, and you have to build that. Like like anything.
Other ones is mold. Like I deal with records all the time, so I get people to bring like I have a bunch of records on my garage, and it's black mold, and I just cannot stand moldy things. Or the computer lot that came in September. September one.
Yeah.
It was all Commodore stuff, but all the boxes were wet, and I had to air everything out. I'm like, oh, this is black mold. I had to toss away all 20 boxes because there's no fixing it, and it made me sad. I still bought it because the rest of the stuff was good, but it still was sad that I'm like, oh, this is wet. Put this away. Just toss and whatnot.
That's tough.
I have hundreds of stories. If you want to come up to me at Pearl Metro after the show and stuff you want to talk about, we can talk about it. I'll be at the auction too. We can sit down and talk about it. But
that I love collecting the Atari era video game stuff.
Yeah.
So the Crash era, as some say. And so, what are the challenges as a store owner carrying that product? So
I buy everything. I buy video games and whatnot, and it's hard for me to have someone say, hey, I'm Atari, how much would you pay? I'm like, well, depending on what you have, which Atari, what controllers, down the list, but it's also hard because I get people that want to play Atari, but it's going to also probably return it within a week, and I've had this happen for many years. They buy Atari, they buy over 10 games, all the works, and then a week later, they're like, oh, my kids didn't like this. I don't know why they didn't like it. I'm like, well, I understand it's probably the graphics. It's blocky. And it's like, exactly, it's blocky. I don't understand why it's, so bad. I'm like, that's, what, 40 years? And it's 40th anniversary. That's what 4 years of technology went on. In television, the only people buy a television for me are collectors. The only time people buy ColecoVisions, collectors. Because they want cool shelf candy. Like, this is, say that it's Spawn Unit.
Yeah.
They want something cool to be on the shelf that looks good.
They're not going to play it.
They're not going to play it and stuff. But I will still buy it. But it's just a hard sell for most game stores that I go to. Because I'm like, hey, do you have any Atari stuff? Yeah, 1 second. They go in the back and grab a box. I'll just use an example off the camera here. They'll grab a box like this.
Yeah.
Tell me like, oh yeah, go ahead and dig through it. I'm like, okay. And I'll find stuff like that.
Oh, nice. Ghostbusters.
Activision and stuff. And they're like, oh, I'm like, how much? Like, yeah, a couple bucks. Because they don't care and stuff. Because you're the first person in 6 months that's looked through Atari stuff.
6 months or 2 years.
Exactly. Some of the stores we've been to, it's been 2-3 years.
Yeah,
so.
and they're just wanting to get rid of it because it just doesn't sell, and they'd rather have the space in their store to sell something that's popular.
Exactly.
All right. Great answers. All right. What are the biggest challenges, Corey, that you have keeping up with stock?
I was just getting stuff in stock. With advent Craigslist for first 5 or 6 years, about 2007, even though I wasn't open and whatnot, I still did this on my parents' house. 7 to 2010 or so, Craigslist was a big thing. But now with Facebook Marketplace, OfferUp, there's various different apps that people are like, oh, I have this, Nintendo system, $50, and I'm like, okay, I want this, and like, sorry, someone else just, bought it. Okay, and then they resell it, and it's a growing trend of just like, okay, who's selling it for faster and whatnot, and sometimes I can't keep up, and that's the one issue. Or Mr. YouTuber here, yay! So like him and Mel Jesus did a video about Sega Genesis about 6 months ago.
Yeah.
And so and whatnot. I got a call the very next day saying, hey, do you have the list of games that I just watched that morning of them doing it? And I'm like, I'm sorry, like, but they're good games. I'm like, they are good games, but they are hard to get. YouTubers do make it, notes in, the collecting world. I just told them to knock it off.
Yeah.
So.
All right. Thoughts on GameStop? Do you consider GameStop a threat into the retro gaming, or are they helpful?
Ooh. So our GameStop is not a threat.
Our GameStop's awesome. Our local GameStop, and it's been awesome for
10 years?
Yeah.
I'd say 10 years.
Yeah.
Stuff.
Since it's been around.
Yeah.
Because I think it started in 2007, our local GameStop.
No, because we had the two. We had the one in Triangle and one in Three Rivers. Three Rivers closed down and whatnot.
Oh, yeah.
People shifted over and stuff, but it's been consistent for the last 10 years or so,
Yeah.
at least.
And the one over in Kelso was pretty good, too.
Yeah.
And
so, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you
No
off
problem.
and stuff. It's just the fact that our GameStop, besides the one in Medford, I just drove to Medford for In and Out recently and whatnot. They're the nice one too and stuff. But they help out. They will send people for the couch show. They'll send people to my store. As long as you're cool and whatnot, you're fine. They don't care about corporate. I mean, they probably do care about corporate, but I mean, they're not a threat.
Yeah.
Yes, they do take trade-ins, but it's your choice to either go GameStop that might look at something, or your local game store that will care about, know the product, hopefully know the product, because we've been in some bad game stores as well that don't know the product. Yeah. That'll be another video. But yeah, I don't see them as a threat and stuff because it's corporate money. I mean, they're going to have more money to invest in stuff that's, product on, advertising and all that, but let them, because in the end, you still have a game store that's supporting versus, the corporate, so.
All right. Are YouTubers causing a market spike?
No, not you. No, yes, I would say yes, because you guys are all popular. There's a reason why Portland Retro Gaming Expo keeps asking you guys back and whatnot. I mean, you guys have more of a following now. I mean, I can't imagine YouTube 10 years ago was just nothing.
Wild West.
Yeah, Wild West and whatnot. But the last 5 years and whatnot.
Oh, yeah.
You've had Riggs,
Reggie. Oh, Jesus.
Just put the Northwest bundle there.
Kinsey, Kelsey. I mean, that's just from the Northwest.
Yeah.
And
we got Pat Annis Punk, and whatnot, Frank. You got also Gamester 81.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and whatnot.
Sean Lester.
Yeah. I'm trying to think. There's so much more stuff, and I probably know them by name if I saw them or whatnot. But I mean, it helps that you guys get review games. That's one your job. I know you're a teacher by day and stuff, but you still get to review games and you still enjoy the hobby. And that's the cool thing and stuff. People are going to want to play the games you want to play, so it will spike the popularity. So.
And I think as a YouTuber, I acknowledge that's out there. Like if I recommend something, and it's tough because I've done a couple reviews where I could have been. I knew that people were like really wanted my thoughts on something, and I know that if I say this is great, there's going to be a lot of people that are going to be okay with getting it. And so that's a challenge for me. Of like I just like to talk about the stuff I like to play, and I try not to think about market value or how I'm affecting it. But the truth of the matter is, especially being a guest on a much larger channel.
Yeah.
It impacts the market, and especially with the scarcity of stuff being so tight, like you were talking about. When there's only so many copies of a game out there, and then I'm showing it on my channel, it does affect it. And I feel for people that are looking for it. It's not my intention.
Yeah.
But I think it's important to acknowledge that it does happen.
Yeah.
All right, couple more questions. Do you think the Super Nintendo prices are going to continue to rise, or do you think they're going to stabilize?
They're stabilizing for some games and whatnot. I mean, for pretty much anything $50 and under, that's going to stabilize and whatnot. Pretty much I'm selling common games $35, $10, and whatnot.
Corey discount.
Oh no, that's what it is at the moment and stuff. Like Zelda's $30-$40.
That's still reasonable.
It's still reasonable game when it's once you start getting into like the Chrono Trigger, which right now is I think at 2017 is like $125,
oh.
$150. It used to be a $80 game. Earthbound $175, $200 and whatnot.
And that's loose.
That's loose. These are loose prices and whatnot. It's like good luck finding. Good example.
Lufia.
Lufia
2.
Yeah,
Lufia 2.
this is just a box and manual one now, but this is still, finding this game loose. I think it's like $50 right now and stuff. So
yeah,
I mean, prices are fine. It just gets to the factor of emulation and.
So you talked about Facebook groups and eBay, and some of this competition getting product and stuff. How do you think that your store impacts the collecting community locally?
It's hard because for me to have a good example like this Lufia 2 box and whatnot, I would love to put this out, but people are like, well, where's the game? I want to collect, the whole thing. If you find the whole game one now, it's selling. So if I found the whole game, I think a box copy, I think $80. I want to say, please don't quote me on that. I'm not sure at the moment. So I'll say let's just call it $80. So I'd get it for $80. Like, well. I've had some people like, the box is in great shape, and so would you take $50 for it? And I'm like, that's unfortunately, one of those things that it's so hard to judge and stuff about affecting collecting. People want to collect it, but it's not mint. And for like John, doesn't matter if the sticker and label is sealed, not sealed, whatnot. As long as you can enjoy this being on your shelf, you should just enjoy it and whatnot. I get you want mint prices, or you want mint box, but then expect mint prices or whatnot, or expect just judge how you feel about. I mean, it's hard. It's really hard because you're trying to judge what people are going to pay, but again, you can't lowball yourself because somebody's going to just buy it and resell on eBay.
Yep.
Which at that point, I can just take all my stuff and put on eBay, but there's no fun in that. That just takes it down a notch for me and stuff.
I think from as a customer of yours a long time, I find that it's important to visit a local game store because they have a lot of product that's not going to go on eBay because it's not worth their time. I can't tell you how many times that I've came to your store and like, oh my gosh, when did you get this? Or how long have you had that? And it's just, to you it was like, I've had this in my store for 2 years.
Yeah.
And, I'm not in every day. And so it's just one of those things that how, eBay is great, and Facebook groups is great, but it's only gonna have certain items that are probably, you know, $10 to $20 at least. You can get a lot of cheaper items at a local game store because, you know, that's the type of stuff that, you know, is not worth their time maybe to put, you know, sell over and over again on eBay. Typically, I remember when I did eBay a long time ago. I stopped doing eBay in 2010, but I had kind of a rule of thumb where I only dealt with stuff that was $20 or more.
Yeah.
And it wasn't worth my time anything less than that.
It's hard for me for some things because some things I want to throw on eBay, but I'm like, I know there's a market for it in town for it. But for like say of Super Nintendos, for a while I'm selling at $50, but I know on eBay I can get $75 to $100. But do I kick myself in the butt because I know customers want the systems? Mm-hmm. But then again, I'm kicking myself in the butt because I can sell it for more, but I'm not. So it's a very hard balance between, yes, I can do eBay and Facebook groups and all that, but then again, what's the point of having a store? I like having a storefront. I like people coming in. You know, people have stories. You know, it's not just me taking your money and that's you out the door. It's me selling something that you're going to cherish and enjoy, and that's, I mean, how much stuff I've sold you over the years, how much stuff I've sold Jason, and again, it goes down the line of list.
We've done 1,000 trades. I mean, we've literally done 1,000 trades, and the nice thing is that, you know, I've known you a long time. You're fair, you're up front, you know, cut to the chase. This is what I bought it for. I need to make this, you know, again, to pay bills, and you know, you have your own livelihood to take care of, and it just makes it really nice working with you, and just as straight up. There's, you know, and I think a lot of the local gaming community appreciates that about you too. So Corey, thank you for your time, for being on my channel. Yep. Corey, where can people find you?
1221 Commerce Avenue, Longview, Washington is
for the locals.
For the locals one now.
Okay.
Facebook.com/Kelso Classics on Facebook, of course.
Okay. Do you ship? Do you ship to people?
I do ship to people and whatnot.
Okay, there's a lot of people that are maybe around the world watching us. So,
yeah, I do take.
Do you ship to people?
I do ship to people. I do take PayPal. If there's a list, go ahead and send it to me on Facebook and whatnot.
Mm-hmm. You have an eBay store?
I do right now. Everything's off there at the moment because we're getting ready for Portland Retro.
Okay. So definitely going to be at Portland Retro Gaming Expo. Okay. Do you know what your booth number is?
606.
606.
Yes.
All right.
Right next to the arcade and whatnot. We have 12 tables of awesomeness.
All right. So we'll hope to see some of you there.
Yep.
Please come by. And thank you so much for your time.
Yeah.
Again, this is the Immortal John Hancock. I'm doing 3 videos a week. Typically, I upload on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Sundays.
Because you're crazy.
At 8 o'clock a.m. Pacific Daylight Time. Thank you so much to people around the world taking time out of their day. Please like, subscribe. I also have a Patreon in which I do an exclusive video every month. This is the Immortal John Hancock, and
Corey.
Take care.
Yep.